Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Happy New Year. We are, hours away, I guess. About 24 hours away, a little over 24 hours away. Um, from 2019. It's been a great year, a very interesting year. And it's been very, very interesting. This 2018 has been a year where Trump fought back a little bit, where he was able to somewhat flip the script. Not really. You had people obstructing President Trump within his own party, but he still in 2 days managed to reverse 16 years of interventionist, and regime change foreign policy. In 2 days, he presided over the start of peace between North and South Korea. That alone is enough to put him in the record books. That alone is enough to put that would have given the Nobel Peace Prize to any other person. To my super chat, thank you so very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, sentencing has already taken place. They have no one left to sentence. They have milked this. They have just milked this entire fiasco as much as they could. They have made this into the most theatrical, ridiculous, absurd, nonsensical, never-ending, and it'll be ending soon, farce of an investigation, a hoax, a myth. It is what Trump has said it is. Every single fake, fabricated outrage / scandal. And Giuliani challenges Mueller, put up or shut up. Do you know how many times I've heard, oh well, you don't know what Mueller knows. Yeah, I know what Mueller knows. So do you. Everyone knows what Mueller knows. He has nothing. There's no evidence. Well, the public record shows there's no evidence. Yeah, that's true. Guess what? The public record correlates to who was sentenced. Michael Flynn never even lied to the FBI. He's an honorable man. He deserves to be reimbursed by the United States government. And then you have what, Papadopoulos? 14 days. What, Manafort? So, what do they have? They have nothing. They have nothing. They had nothing to begin with. And the tables need to be turned. Look, Sessions should have appointed a special counsel. I'm tired. Well, he did what he needed to do. No, he didn't. That's the foundation of Q, and it's wrong. The foundation is trust Sessions. Trust the plan. There was no plan. That was 2 years wasted. Again, ladies and gentlemen, it's 2 years wasted. President Trump was ambushed by people within his own administration. It could have been Jeff Sessions. You could talk about Jeff Sessions. You could talk about Paul Ryan. You could talk about John McCain, who was part of the Steele dossier fiasco. You could talk about Jeff Flake. You could talk about a bunch of people around him. He was fighting and battling a lot of people who were working against him. And he did pretty well. Now, he needs to flip the script. So I already got the reason I voted for Trump is because, the reason I'm voting for Trump and the reason that I'm supporting President Trump is because Ronald Foos, so am I. Is because He's reversing course on U.S. foreign policy. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. 16 years of interventionist foreign policy reversed. Very good thing. Very, very, very good thing. That is 16 years of us looking at the map as like a video game, or us trying to, or a stratego board game where we just look and say, oh, well, let's just remove this dictator and see what happens. Meanwhile, there's an endless mayhem and chaos from our decision. And Obama was elected to reverse course on that, and of course he didn't. He didn't do that. He doubled down. So, getting back to Giuliani rips Mueller. It's time to put up or shut up. This is going to culminate into a report. Trump can't get indicted from any of this because there's nothing. He didn't do anything wrong. There's no crime. It's not even a crime to work with Russia to hack the DNC. That's not a crime. Secondly, it never happened. Could you imagine if Clinton worked with Russia to hack the RNC? Everyone would say, well, what's the problem? It's not a crime. The way they're like, foreign power? Yeah, who cares? You worked with a foreign power for the Steele dossier. President Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, is seeking to put pressure on special counsel Robert Mueller to submit his report on whether the investigation into Trump campaign and Russia has found any collusion. They didn't, saying Mueller should put up or shut up. In an interview with the New York radio host airing Sunday, Giuliani claimed the Mueller team has known since May or June that there is no evidence to support the allegation. Of course they knew. It should have been wrapped up probably in May or June. That's when they figured out they had no evidence of collusion. Collusion is not a crime, by the way. You have to show a conspiracy to hack the DNC. They don't have any evidence of that, which is the reason they don't submit the report, because they are embarrassed. Of course they're embarrassed. Of course they're embarrassed. So I'm challenging them. It's time to put up or shut up. It's time for them to submit a report. They don't have, as we would say in New York, a dang thing. Of course they don't. Giuliani, who joined President Trump's legal team responding to the special counsel's inquiry earlier this year, has repeatedly urged Mueller's team to wrap up its investigation. Now, Trump has to flip the script, and I don't care if Mueller keeps going. Mueller is not going to, they're not going to want to end, ever. They're going to actually try to continue this through the duration of 2019. And Trump has to just start. Trump DOJ has to help him out. He needs help. It's not, Trump can't do this himself with Clinton. He can't indict Clinton himself. Thank you, Agent Pepsi One. Thank you. He can't indict Clinton himself. He has to have the DOJ help him out. He has to have he has to have somebody with courage, somebody courageous, somebody with courage to just help him out. You didn't have that with Sessions, and you certainly didn't have that with Huber, who didn't even respond to whistleblowers. It took 6 months to respond to whistleblowers. 6 months. Mueller should be investigated for destruction of evidence, for allowing those text messages from Strzok to be erased. Of course, messages that would show the state of mind and tactics of his lead anti-Trump FBI agent at the start of his probe. There should have been a special counsel right when you found out we'll stop Trump. That should have resulted in a special counsel. Oh, here we go. Tech experts say merging 5G and artificial intelligence will make humans better problem solvers. Not. This is an article right here. This we're getting dumber as people. The merging of 5G and artificial intelligence will help humans become better problem solvers. Hitachi uh Hitachi executive. Well, yeah, of course, they're selling something. That's funny. It's like I could do without AI, really. The Hitachi executive that's selling it is really. Intelligence is moving to the edge of humanity. Oh, really? So with these more intelligent devices in more people's hands, it makes people dumber, not more intelligent. Do you know that there are young people who can't add? I've been told they can't multiply. They haven't memorized their multiplication tables or division tables or addition and subtraction. Everyone at the edge can have real-time information. No way. You mean information makes us smarter? Russia hacking. It's the stupidest thing in the world. People will look back. If you believed in Russian hacking, you were probably one of the dumbest people on the planet, as well as historical insight, so that they can do their job better and they can make smarter decisions. We make dumber decisions now. That can be a teacher, that can be a train conductor. Oh my God. Honestly, like trains were just fine, like in the 1800s and 1900s. They didn't have AI. That can be law enforcement officer. Yeah, no thanks. All of these people have all this intelligence at their fingertips. What intelligence? A GPS is the most important thing. And in that way, we can have this distributed intelligence networks of people. Oh, wow. Whatever. That means we can attack problems faster, more productively, and also in an anti-fragile sense. Oh, here we go. Here we go. And in a way that is less expensive to implement. A Pew Research Center study released early this month found that a majority of AI experts believe that the intelligence will have a positive impact on humans by 2030. Yeah, right. Then there are the AI people who think it's going to be Terminator, and I don't disagree with that. Why would I want robots to control my daily life or to have input on my daily life? That's stupid. So at the end of the day, they really have nothing. And meanwhile, Clinton is like a walking criminal. She's a walking criminal. Ex-prosecutor. I wouldn't want inconsistent Rudy Giuliani as my legal representative. Really? Oh my God, you're on the last word. I was on the last word also, but 3 years ago. He's probably the most consistently inconsistent person you can have as a Trump surrogate. Really? Who should he have? The messages between Strzok and Page were destroyed. They weren't just coincidentally erased. How are there no coincidence with Clinton? It's true that Clinton is pretty much doesn't worry. There's no doubt that Hillary doesn't worry at all. She's like, I got it under control. But that's the problem. You can't I just don't think that I don't think that you can commit that many crimes and not have your network and safety net around you. Now, Matthew Whitaker needs to act. Not like, did Rod Rosenstein get a vote from Congress for a special counsel? No. An embattled president. This is Salon. From Matt Whitaker to Bill Barr, Trump's defenders at justice. The defender. I'm still waiting for Matt Whitaker to be a defender. I like Matthew Whitaker. I just don't know if he's done anything like. See, I'm not telling you trust Whitaker. I'm saying, please, Whitaker, do your job. But I'm trying to see like what the most ultra liberal publication says. They're like, oh my God, Jim Mattis is leaving. So what? So what? When Obama fired McChrystal, when Obama fired Michael Flynn at Defense Intelligence Agency, or let him go, like no one said anything. Why with McChrystal or why with Mattis? Oh my God, Jim Mattis left. Yeah, he's bringing home Americans, and I don't think McChrystal should have left. I don't think Michael Flynn should have left. But see, Washington Post. As long as Matthew Whitaker is in place, the Russia investigation is in danger. The Russia investigation. At what point? This is the editorial board of the Washington Post. The nomination of William P. Barr to return to the role of Attorney General was a relief to observers concerned that Mr. Trump would leave Whitaker in place for the remainder of his term. And most likely a relief also to Mr. Whitaker, now operating under decreased scrutiny. Senators will have the opportunity to explore Mr. Barr's own skepticism. I mean, how long is this going to go on? How long? This is stupid. It's Conditi. Midnight Oil good when I have it on good authority. Dave, you know what? Whoever Q is, he's hurting a lot of good people. Because there's a lot of good people who want to believe. Itchcon Diddy. Thank you, Itchcon Diddy. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like, they don't have anything yet because the media is like, the media is like, makes this, they make this hilarious fantasy a reality to so many people, and it's dangerous. This is not real. Like, there is no Russia. Like, Trump didn't work with Russia to hack the DNC, and even if he did, it's a non-issue. The DNC is a political organization. Then you want a foreign power? Yeah, a foreign power hacking a political organization with the help of a president. No, you don't want that. But at the end of the day, your country is going to live through that. The country is not going to live through, or the country, let's say, will be hurt The country will be hurt by um, millions of people thinking that that there's a president who worked with Putin to hack the DNC, and they don't even take it a step further. So it's like there are too many people in this country who are not only duped but willingly they don't they've suspended logic. They've suspended logic. Let's see. So, as long as Matthew Whitaker is in place, the Russia investigation is in danger. It's over. The thing, it's December 28th. They're still talking about the Russia investigation. It's over. The thing is over. So Matthew Whitaker doesn't need to recuse himself. The first thing he needs to do is end the probe. It's over. There's nothing more that needs to happen. Matthew Whitaker, and this is the thing also, like, the left, they, you know, the left is interesting. Like they don't respond to reaching out. Like if you try to like debate, if you try to debate, you try to debate a person on the left or a liberal, you're thinking, well, look, let's just reach out and try to reach out and kind of meet them halfway. Like, look, let's just, it's like no, it's like they won't even like you ask them, they don't. There's no evidence. Well, they don't even admit that. They won't even admit that. They won't even admit that. What they'll say is, well, you don't know what Mueller knows. 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 You have no idea what Mueller knows. Yeah, I do. I do know what Mueller knows. He knows nothing. There's nothing there. Want to know why I know there's nothing there? Because there's not one shred of evidence, not even circumstantial. You know how they're like, "Oh, well, the Trump Tower meeting. They wanted dirt on Hillary." So what? Dirt on Hillary is not even a crime. It's called just Google it. Just Google it. It's really simple to Google. Just Google it. Like, that's not really a big deal. And they like they convince themselves that what they're doing is like, justice for future generations. Like they think so highly of themselves. They don't realize that most people are looking at them and like, yeah, this is an extension of the Democratic Party. This is 2016. They lost the election. And they've been battling and trying to fabricate, and they got help. Look, Rosenstein was a Sessions choice. That's what Trump kept saying. He's like, I didn't even know Rosenstein. And then the media's like, this is Trump's deputy attorney general, his own deputy. It's like, no. They love hiding behind government. But notice, like, when government doesn't work for them, when Kavanaugh had the FBI, his like 8th FBI investigation, they hated the FBI. Oh, the FBI didn't do its job. They don't really have a value system. They have only if it works for them, they love it. If it doesn't work for them, that's it. There's no agreed upon set of values. There's no agreed upon set of values. They hated Mueller. They hated Comey. Sorry, and then they love Comey now. They loved Comey, then they hated Comey with the Comey letter. They loved him when he exonerated Clinton. They hated him with the letter, and now they love him again. And if he turns, and hopefully he will, they'll hate him again. They don't really have a value system. They loved Hillary Clinton. Now they just don't want to hear about her. But if she runs again, they'll love her again. They don't care. They don't have a value system. They're just searching and scrounging and trying to scratch and claw for power. That's it. Just trying to obtain power at any point, by any means necessary. That's all they care about. Freedom fighter. Fight for what is right. Go get him, Mr. Goodman. Truth, logic, and morals, the whole package. Thank you, freedom fighter. Thank you, freedom fighter. Thank you. Thank you, freedom fighter. Thank you. Exactly. Orange man, bad. Orange man. Hello, ACUR. Hello. Thank you, freedom fighter, for always watching. I appreciate it. Thank you. And the kind words. Thank you very much. Thank you, Freedom Autopsy Report. Thank you, everyone, for the kind words. So, did you guys see the whole the vape? Press 1 if you've seen the viral vape video of the guy who goes into the vape store and gets just yelled at by a screeching all right. So, Alexander M. Gonzalez, I will. So this guy, like, I don't vape. I don't smoke. But I know people who vape, and it's like, I can't believe this is in Georgia. So the guy goes into he goes he goes into a vape store. He's like, I want this, strawberry whatever. And the guy's like, I'm not going to sell this to you because of your t-shirt. What this is the insanity. This is the insanity of people who have been brainwashed. And this isn't, by the way, this is not a Bernie supporter, by the way. This is not a Jill Stein guy. This is like he voted for Clinton, or he'll vote for Beto O'Rourke or whatever. So this is not like a true progressive, because that's not the way. And by the way, that same guy went into another vape store who was owned or run by a black woman, his friend, in the next clip or the next video. And he was like, look, this is like how, and she was like, I am not a Trump supporter, but this is my friend. And he's still wearing his, and then there was an African-American gentleman right there saying, my God, this is about money. It's true. Money is money. Business is business. Even in prison, you have different gangs that are mortal enemies, and they work together to sell drugs and cigarettes and whatever. Business is business. Same with international relations. Saudi Arabia and Israel are on the down low best friends against Iran. Business is business. So you know, it's like, oh, he was fired. That's hilarious. This is just absolutely hilarious. He gets fired. That's the only justice here. And this is also like, I can't believe this. This is also in Georgia of all places. Like, it's in Georgia of all places. And this is what happens. You hear too much of orange man bad, orange man bad. And you then get this maniacal, like, this just this maniacal, like, reaction. Like, it's like this guy turned into like a 7-year-old kid who was having a temper tantrum and couldn't control himself, yelling and yelling and yelling. And it's like it's all over now. This is so hilarious. It is all over. I just don't get it. Like, they don't realize that everyone looks at the, like, they've created their own reality. So it's not really a reality that exists. It's a reality in their own mind. Trump hasn't, when you look at what Trump has done or said, it's nothing compared to Hillary Clinton. And here's the whataboutism. The whataboutism is that, what's your vantage point when you are condemning someone? And this is why the left's like people who claim to be liberal or whatever, this is why their ideology won't last. It's based, the foundation, the principles of the ideology are based on a flawed sense of moral superiority. They're not morally superior. They exist only to tell you that you're horrible, and then they'll just, vote for Clinton again, who called black youth super predators, who took prison lobbyist donations, who just the other day said, oh yeah, they all look alike. And no one said anything. Even a joke. A joke can get you fired nowadays. A joke can get you, even a joke. The guy had a complete and utter meltdown. And it was the most, like, embarrassing. It was the most embarrassing thing you could ever see. And that's what the left is all about now. Then there's this new poem from Alice Walker, who is world renowned, author and poet, and she calls Jews who care about Israel Zionist Nazis. But that's the left. That is what they don't even like. This is absurd. Jewish people have a right to their own homeland. This is from 1948, settled business. And these are the same people who want to fight fascists and white supremacists and all. But they're like, oh, yeah, Jewish people who want their own homeland. And it's like, it's not even like I want Palestinians to have their own state. I want them to have their own state. But there's another side to the story. It's not only Israel. And Nazis murdered 6 million Jewish people and millions of other people. But all people, they obsess over Israel. And the Palestinian population has increased. See, you're calling somebody a Nazi, or genocide populations decrease by millions. So they use the word Nazi as a way to hurt, because they don't like the political situation. As if any other country would allow Hamas or anyone else to just do whatever they wanted to do. Fire rockets, send over anything. Blow up buses, whatever. Trace Luttinger, sounds like you're talking about TYT. Yeah. TYT is, it's not, well, it's TYT is a Democratic Party. That's, Trace Luttinger, thank you. Lutteringer, thank you. Trace, thank you. TYT is the Democratic Party. That's not an insult. That is what it is. I've been saying this for a long time. The Democratic Party is going to latch on to anything to give hope to the most idealistic voters and jettison and just, look, they cheated Bernie Sanders. It doesn't matter. There are pundits who, no matter what you do, they'll still vote for Beto O'Rourke or Clinton or whatever. No matter what you do. So, I have a great deal of respect for Kyle Kulinski. I would love to debate him. But Bernie Sanders could be beaten with a steel rod, with a metal pipe, bashed in the face by Hillary Clinton on live TV. And Kulinski and Cenk Uygur would say, vote for Beto O'Rourke or Clinton or Kamala Harris or Biden. I'm not disrespecting them by saying that. That's what their value system is. Their value system is vote for the Democratic nominee at all costs. But be honest. I'm honest. I'm a Trump supporter. I have lost friends over being a Trump supporter. That is how brainwashed people are. I have lost friends. Not to toot my own horn, but when I was representing for my viewpoint on Bernie Sanders, people wrote hit pieces on me. Ever wonder why the people now who claim to represent Bernie, nobody, the Daily Beast, doesn't give two you-know-whats about them? They're not a threat. You know who's a threat? Jill Stein. Like, honestly, she's a threat. Now, I'm voting for Trump. I'm not voting for Jill Stein. Michael J., I understand. Jill Stein is a threat to the Democratic Party. If you're a threat to the Democratic Party, that's the only way they eventually change their value system. So if you want things like single payer, you want to frighten the Democrats like Jill Stein does. Not what Bernie has done, not what, because if you were promoting the Russian hacking myth in any way, shape, or form, you're not a threat to the Democratic Party. Yes, they do need my advice, with all due respect. They do need my advice. But whatever, I don't care if they take my advice or not. Ask if in 2 years, if I'm wrong, great. but I don't think I'll be wrong. They're not going to pass a Medicare for all bill. They're not going to pass a green economy bill. They're not going to pass a $15 minimum wage bill. They're not going to, because Bernie was cheated to begin with. That's the thing. He was cheated. When you're cheated and you just like go back to the people who cheat you, it doesn't work because you just cheated again and again. You're just utilized. He's being utilized. Beto O'Rourke has like I don't care anymore because like whatever, but Beto O'Rourke has more oil and gas money from lobbyists than anyone but Ted Cruz. And he's not the only link he has to Latino people is his nickname. That's it. That's it. So Beto has a lot of support. A lot of support. If you just type in Beto 2020, type in Beto 2020. Let's see, Beto 2020. Beto 2020. Can Beto beat Trump in Texas? Fort Worth Telegram 1 day ago. This is Salon. Beto versus Bernie, the simplistic narrative that threatens to undermine the 2020 campaign. When Salon is talking about it, so they don't want like Salon's become like less. I used to be published all the time at Salon. My articles would go viral there, but now it's like more like calm down, everyone, calm down. A social media proxy war between two white men. To build a better future, Democrats have to do better than this. Oh, here we go. My God. David Sirota is right. David Sirota. Something I didn't know. Beto O'Rourke is the number 2 recipient of oil and gas industry campaign cash in the entire Congress. And they went after David Sirota for bringing this up. So Trace Letteringer, thank you. But what TYT does, what the Democratic Party at the end of the day serves one purpose: to consolidate power. No, I agree with you on that. The people don't. Beto O'Rourke doesn't have perhaps grassroots support from most people, but there is grassroots support for the guy, and the establishment likes him. Or maybe I should say the most idealistic people are not for Beto O'Rourke, that's for sure. But see, what happens is the left gets swallowed up. The establishment morphs. They use like I always knew a Beto O'Rourke would be the result of Bernie getting cheated. Beto is like the bizarro world Bernie. And I agree with you. I agree with you. In terms of grassroots for the most idealistic people, no. Yeah, I agree with you. But see, that's what the thing is. If Beto O'Rourke wins, it's going to be like, yes, he has to beat Trump. Meanwhile, like, the guy's like, climate change, dude. And he has more oil and gas money than anyone but Ted Cruz. But it's the vape store guy is a symbol of liberal culture now. The best is when I became a Trump supporter, like they couldn't hurt me anymore. Like it's like no amount of insults, because at the end of the day, you can't denigrate bringing Americans home. Even my buddy who's like hardcore Democrat, he's like, yeah, well, it's a good thing, but you know what? I don't know. They just hate Trump's personality. That's the thing. Like most of the Democrats, they just hate Trump's personality. That's really all it is. They hate Trump's personality, and that's it. I mean, Biden, who do they have? Biden. Beto and Bernie debate raises questions about Texas oil economy. Bernie Sanders fans and Beto O'Rourke boosters have erupted into a back and forth as they try to nurture the Texas congressman's presidential aspirations. Oh my God. And then they went after David Sirota for bringing up just an obvious fact about Beto O'Rourke. Oh, here we go. Beto O'Rourke will be the next president of the United States. Okay. Not. And here's why. Sounds like what I used to write for Bernie. Forget that Robert Francis O'Rourke lost to Senator Cruz. Forget that Robert O'Rourke has no more influence. What? Forget that was no more influential than the U.S. representative in 3 terms on a piece of furniture. Forget that O'Rourke was no more influential in the U.S. House of Representatives in his 3 terms on a piece of furniture. Wow, this is starting off fantastic. This editorial is starting off awesome. And forget that Beto's campaign strategy was doomed from the start. O'Rourke easily raised and spent $80 million in his losing effort. Okay, so where does it get to? O'Rourke's populist message resounded with millennials. So what? Millennials don't vote. Beers with Beto. Oh, I love that. His easy use of the F word. You know, when people use the F word, I know they're telling the truth. That's the thing. When Bernie Sanders would speak, he never used a profane word. When I speak from the heart, and I don't use a profane word because I don't have to. Ronald Foose, yes, it will be. Bruce Smith, I thought the left believed in justice. They don't. Whataboutism is dismissive and unjust. Yes, Bruce Smith, thank you. Beto lost the battle, but the Beto effect won Texas. Red Texas. Yeah, he spent $80 million. Republican Texas. Clinton outspent Trump 2-1, $1.2 billion to $600 million. And it's so difficult to get, like, you know, Beto has momentum, name recognition, the ability to raise amounts of money, and the support of Hollywood celebrities and media. Honestly, this is, I disagree, and I think that he would get just crushed by Trump. But this is what Democrats like. He can raise money. Oh my God. It's Kristen. My tipping point was when Democrats sued WikiLeaks and Russia and Trump and the Tooth Fairy and the Loch Ness Monster and, you know, Santa Claus, when they sued, I was like, that's it. I'm becoming a Trump supporter officially. And I have been vindicated because I've been vindicated because he brought home 10,000. He's bringing home 10,000 Americans. Thank you for asking that question. If you say a derogatory word to Deborah Wasserman Schultz, you'll have me to contend with. Deborah, dear Deborah, your touch is a touch I long for. Thank you for always standing by me. Yours truly, your love, Bernie Sanders. So that's it. They love this is what a San Antonio paper. The real reason why some Bernie fans have it in for they worry that deflection from Sanders 2016 will whitewash O'Rourke's policy record. I think that if Democrats pick the wrong person, well, let's put it this way. The nomination process, when we start rolling into 2020, January of 2020, so this year is going to be interesting. 2020 is going to be even more interesting. And whenever this is an open debate, like challenge, I would love to debate Cenk Uygur, Kyle Kalinske on the fact that Trump is a great president, on the fact that Medicare for all is not feasible economically, or also on the fact that Democrats are not serious about implementing or writing any legislation or pushing through legislation through a democratically controlled House. The fact that Obama was elected to bring home Americans and Trump is doing that. The Yahtzee! Churchill, quote, if you're not a liberal at 25, you have no heart. If you're not a conservative at 35, you have no brain. That is, yes, the Yahtzee. I remember hearing that, and for me, it's relevant. Ram Lafara, you are wonderful. Thank you always for your support. And I want the Palestinian state that prosperous and happy, and I want that. The Yahtzee. Yeah, I mean, it's true, you know. Well, yeah. The Yahtzee, thank you. The Yahtzee, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. To my super chat, thank you. And the nomination process for Democrats, Dr. Fastus in the West, God bless you. Thank you for your service to this country. Thank you. God bless you. Care Bear. Hello, Care Bear. Thank you. I really get to see you live. I am so happy to catch you. What do you think will be the end result of the shutdown now, since the Dems won't even come to the table? I think, and I'm hoping, Care Bear, thank you so very much. I'm hoping that they realize they have to make a concession for Dreamers. I'm hoping that Trump gives Dreamers, the DACA recipients, a path to citizenship. After negotiations for wall funding. So I'm hoping they come to some kind of negotiation, because the longer this goes, the worse it is for Pelosi. The longer it goes, Care Bear, the worse it is for Democrats. But I'm hoping that there's some kind of negotiation where people will be able to get citizenship for the wall. Bruce Smith thinks to be for 2020, build wall, put anti-Trump coup members in jail, conservative judges. Yep, I agree. Especially like Second Amendment, and don't believe, because I used to be on the left. Don't believe anyone on the left. Like, they want, like, the core of the Democratic Party, if they could just take all firearms and just leave maybe revolvers, they'd be okay with it. Bruce Smith, thank you. Now, I definitely want Dreamers to become citizens. definitely want dreamers to be citizens. Um, that's something that, you know, I want. Um, and I want, some kind of deal where Trump gets his wall funding. The Yahtzee things to do before 2019 declassify. Yep. But I think like you declassify and then just special counsel. That's it. Thank you, Ramla. Thank you. The Yahtzee, thank you so very much. Yeah, the left would if they could, they would just ban most firearms. Because the mentality, they would ban just most firearms. They don't have, there's nothing stopping. There's nothing stopping the left. Luke St. Martin, thank you. Hey, hello. Luke St. Martin, you are an amazing moderator. Eric H526 is a great moderator. You guys are, I have great moderators. Thank you. And happy New Year to everyone. Patriot 95, thank you. It's going to be a great year. To the progressives who still watch me, I know I'm annoying. I'm annoying to the left. I'm annoying to the right. I'm just annoying. But I'm me. AC Yor, thank you for watching as always. Luke St. Martin, thank you. Listen, 2018 has been a great year, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a great year. Eric H526, get well soon. Happy New Year, HA and everyone. Thank you. The Coyote, we love you. Thank you. I have a great chat. I have wonderful people who watch this channel. And look, I mean, we're rocking 500 to 600. We hit over 500, I think, today. Thank you, Bruce Smith. And it's like, there's nothing really going on. I mean, aside from here, some cool things. And we're still doing pretty well. I mean, 500, like a late Sunday night. That's great. That's great. And then 1,000 when things really rock and roll. Patriot 95, Happy New Year. Great job. And thank you, Patriot 95. Thank you. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be a great year. I will never support Bernie again. I wish him a good health and happiness. He's a good human being, but I will never support him again. I will support President Trump, especially because he's bringing home Americans from war, which is what I knew he would do. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless. Thank you so very, very much. To my super chat, thank you. Luke St. Martin, thanks as always for being a great moderator. Eric H526, thank you. AC Yor, thanks for being a great moderator. And Matthew Galter, thank you so much for the kind words. Mark Scott, thank you. Everyone, thank you. Have a great evening, everyone. See you tomorrow. New Year's Eve.